Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome to 48 Frames Company. Today we'll be discussing a topic that is going to be very, very useful for the freshers who are right out of college or the ones who are looking for the job for the first time. So, a lot of y'all who have connected with me on LinkedIn have an idea of my profession. I am not just a psychologist, but I am also an HR professional who is into training HR professionals as well. So, with my kind of experience in hand and having a good understanding of what an HR team or the hiring team looks for in a resume, I just thought that, let me just throw some light on the areas that you need to keep in mind while you represent yourself on a paper or virtually represent yourself for a job. Okay, so first and foremost, I would ask all of y'all to have a professional email ID. As teenagers or as a students in college, you might have very funky email IDs, right? So all of us had it. So if you have anything like Rockstar Raju kind of an email ID, then please do not use that. You come up with a professional sounding email ID which has your first name and your last name or anything with your name present in it as it is. So you have a professional email ID first. That is the primary thing which you need to have in hand before you set your resume on paper. Okay, so few things that you need to keep in mind is there is no set format for a resume, but then it has to have a chronology that has to be followed. Okay, so it is easier for us. So when you're a fresher, you shouldn't be having anything more than one pager as your resume, because you're a fresher, you do not have too many things to be added into it. There are only few things that we would look for in a fresher's resume. So what are they? First of all, you will have to mention your name in bold, and then you have your contact address. Nobody is going to look for your house address anymore because all of us are connected virtually, right? So we want an email ID which is fully functional where we can reach out to you, as well as a phone number, not your mother's, uncle's, aunt's phone numbers, but your phone number which you would receive the moment we call. Okay, so you write, you have to have a fully functional email ID, a fully functioning phone number, and you keep it ready with you. And these are the things that you start off with. You will have your name, you will have your phone number and your email ID, which is very essential, which you need to write on top of your resume, on top or anyway. So let me tell you, there is no format as such, but it should be, these are the contents that is mandatory on the resume, right? Then comes the next session, that is the objective. If most of you all copy it from your friends, and whenever we look at the kind of objective that you write in your resume is a copy paste thing that you find from your classmates and your seniors and from ages whomever you have taken the reference point as, you write it as it is. So it is not something that is mandatory that we look for in a fresher's resume, that you need to have an objective in a resume. It is not required. So even if you really want to tell them, yes, if you have your goals set and you know what exactly you're looking for and you know to word them in your own words, then yes, you can put that objective there, on top of it. And then you can continue with your educational qualification. It is always wise to start off with your last educational qualification on top, followed by the latter ones. Like, you can, if you are a BCom graduate, you write BCom and the year of passing, and if you want to mention the grade, you can mention the grade or leave it as it is. You can write the year of passing, and then below you can write your 12th grades, and then the year of passing, as well as your 10th. So this is how it goes. If in case you have a master's degree, you can start from your 12th and then your graduation and then your post-graduation. So you can go in that order. So the last degree that you have should be on top of it. Before that, what we need to always add is that if at all you have done any kind of internship post qualification, then you will have to have the internship on top. That is, first you have the internship followed by your educational qualification, because we know you are ready for the market. So if you are looking for an accountant's position, if you have done an internship in accounting, that holds more value for us because you're already ready for the market. So you have to make a mention of your internship on top, followed by your educational qualification. If you do not have any internship or an additional qualification related to the job that you're applying, it is always fine to keep your educational qualification itself. Okay, make a mention of your interests and hobbies. which is very important to understand your personality, the kind of person you are, how creative you are, how good your decision making skills would be. It is always good to add your hobbies and interests in your resume. And there are few things that you can avoid. That is nationality. It is really not required, because most of them would be from India, only and unless that is you are an NRI, or you do not have an Indian citizenship, then yes, you can mention it there. With the permission to work in the country, all that can be added. If you are applying for a job where you're not a citizen of, then you can write the nationality in it. Father's name, religion, mother's name, caste, all that should be avoided. That is really not necessary in your resume. So what you can write in your personal details would be, if you wish, you can write your date of birth, which is generally not looked into, but even then, if you wish, you can write your date of birth followed by I think the date of birth would suffice. In your personal details, your date of birth would suffice. We do not want your address, we do not want your caste, we do not want your religion or anything of that sort. This should suffice. That is your qualification, your interest, if you have an objective, the kind of job you're looking for, a functional email ID, a functional phone number. These things should suffice. And also you should have few references mentioned, like your college professor's reference, and always mention the extracurricular activities that you have been a part of. Let it be into sports, or if you were a part of NSS, NCC, make a note of all those things, because that builds an impression for us. There are a lot of us who have other capabilities which may not be professionally linked, but adds a value to you as a person. If you have been a volunteer if you have been volunteering or into blood donation, or if you are into social work or anything, please do mention all that, because it adds more credibility and value to your resume. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. This is just a gist that I'm giving you, because we would look for this in a fresher's resume. Okay, so let me just summarize it. Your full name, a functional email ID, a functional phone number, your educational qualification in chronology, as in the last, that is the most recent qualification followed by the other qualification. And prior to that, if you have any kind of internship that you have done, that has to come before your qualification, followed by you should have your hobbies and interest, and then you can include your date of birth. So these are the things that is required in your resume. See, date of birth is not mandatory, but if you want to have a column where you really wish to write a date of birth, then you can write it in your personal details. So this is what we look for in a fresher's resume. It is very concise, but again, what is even more important is how beautifully and aesthetically you present your resume. Okay, so what is the font that you need to use? See, generally initially it was Times New Roman, which was used by everyone and all of us, but then it was taken over by Calibri. There are few classic fonts which can be used, and what we give importance to is the clarity. It has to be clear, and few fonts, I'll make a mention of the few fonts which would look aesthetically beautiful in the description box. And the size should be maintained at 12 if they are classic fonts, and if they are the headings or something to be highlighted, yes, you can increase the font size and probably bring it into bold and italics, which is quite common, you know, like it's very easy. You can understand when you want to throw some attention on a particular thing, you need to highlight it. So while you write the headings, you can highlight them, you can bold them. So you should always make it aesthetically beautiful, because nowadays you have so many websites where you can build your resumes. I see a lot of them building it on Canva, which is done very beautifully. So the colors that you can use on your resume, it is not like traditional style. A lot of them do not maintain the black and white anymore. So you can use shades of green and blue, which are the lighter shades of green and blue, which makes it look even more beautiful. Do not use too many pictographical representation like pie charts and the graphical representation, because it occupies a lot of space, and it takes some time time for us to calculate and get an understanding of it. So keep it simple, and see that, like in one glance we get to know all the details, like what I just said, your qualification, your interest, your hobbies, and if you have any kind of work experience or exposure, that is, I'm talking to the internship, these things has to be mentioned. So these are the few little things that I wanted to mention. Before you hit an OK, check that there are no spelling errors. So if at all you are very good with your grades, but then I see the spelling of computers wrong, the spelling of bachelor's wrong, the spelling of master's wrong, then it gives a very wrong impression, right? So always have a look at the language or the spelling that is there. So do a spell check, check that all your qualifications are mentioned, check that your it highlights your strengths, and we feel it is aesthetically beautiful, not bright colors and not very what do you say, fancy fonts. Keep it very simple. You can use any of the classic fonts. Keep the font size to be 12, but the headings to be bigger and bold, and include your phone number, your email ID, your internship, your qualification, your hobbies and interests. Include all this and present yourself beautifully. I think these are the few things that you need to keep in mind while you make a fresher's resume. This is a simple thing, but if you want us to design your resume, the first 3 people who drop in the comments get an option for this, as in the first 3 people will get a resume designed by us if you really want. So you can quickly drop in the comments section your email ID and your details and your views about the video. So we will be designing the resumes for you for the first 3 people who drop in the comments today for the video. If you did like this video, please do hit a like, and if you feel someone would benefit out of it, then please do share the video, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for joining in, and you have a wonderful day.